Check 1, 2. Join with audio. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Mr. Evans will be with us here shortly.
Okay.
Okay. The link's there. Adam and I are already in. All right. I'm going to pause the recording. We don't discuss the topic. We are recording live.
Yes.
Okay. So ULC Norman Ministries, in conjunction with, what did you say our name was, Jay?
Give me a second. Master de Batorz.
And our show is called, we are presenting what show, Mr. Adam?
What show?
Adam, we are presenting, what's the show called?
What is the show called? Master to Batorz.
No, that's the name of the group.
The show is called That Junk.
That junk.
Yeah,
There you go.
ULC Norman Ministries, in conjunction with our group, Master de Batorz,
And
Present.
presenting that junk.
presenting that.
That junk.
There we go. That's all right. See, hey, it just shows we're humans. Ministers or not, we're humans.
Human would be an understatement. I don't even me being human doesn't even count the age. I'm an human.
Human?
Human. What's an human? Are they edible?
Depending on what species you are.
Oh.
I mean,
Is
yeah.
that papaya? Look like tea?
Now, Annie.
Anyway, all right. So I think that we decided this show was going to run every week,
Yep.
and we're going to try to keep this within like a 30, 40-minute thing, because I think we have to pay for it after that. We decided, but none of us has discussed what we're going to say about it, right?
Right.
Huh? None of us
Right,
has discussed. Okay. So our first topic, because we are universal ministers of ULC Norman Ministries, we got to promote the religion, of course. So the first part of our topic is going to be
The first
Tenant.
the first
What the
tenet.
hell?
Can you see what I put here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There is the 13 tenets of ULC Norman Ministry. So our first topic is going to be if we agree or disagree, being universal life ministers, if we agree to this tenet as being a faithful fact.
Yeah.
The universe was created by the great creator, of which we call the great divine. This entity is neither male nor female, rather the embodiment of all creation.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Evans, what's your opinion on that?
Well,
Do you agree, disagree, or do you agree and disagree, or do you agree and have a reason why?
I agree because I'm Wicca Android, and we believe that there's one great creator.
But what else does a Wicca or Druid believe in? Do they believe in other gods, deities, etc.?
Yes, we believe in lesser deities, most would call angels. At least in my opinion. I'm not speaking for all pagans. I'm speaking for myself.
And since we're a private show, we don't care. We're allowed to smoke on this show just to show that, smoking may cause problems, but it's a choice carcinogen. I don't think we fall underneath FCC rules anyway.
Well, Catholic priests smoke and drink.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so you believe, and so what's your reasoning? Why do you believe the way you believe when it comes to this great divine?
Okay, put simply, the great divine, there has to be one great creator. That's neither male nor female.
Well, didn't all this start with a Big Bang?
Even in Christian faith, they now believe in the Big Bang, and the Big Bang is creation by one great creator.
Okay, so Mr. Adam, do you agree, disagree, agree and disagree to that as a fact, and why?
Well, I agree to it because, well, we can't really explain how or what really happened to make us. Human beings, animals, reptiles, what you may be does not matter because we was all made by this one thing, which, yeah, I would say that's the great divine, or as some people call it, the great
Creator.
creator.
Well, I concur. I mean, I know I took kind of a negative scientific stance, but I agree with that statement for several reasons. Number one, in December of 2015, I died 3 times during a bout with a heart attack, and I had some after-death experiences, and I saw all my loved ones, and my mom and my dad told me it wasn't my time, that I needed to come back the first time I died. Second time I died, I saw the whole group of people again, and they were standing in front of this big, huge gate. And my mom and dad came up to me and said, "We told you it wasn't your time, you need to go back." Third time I died, they were all there again, this big gate, and they said, "We told you it wasn't your time." Well, then this being that I cannot even put to words, the beauty of this being came from behind that gate, spoke to me by name, and he says, "Craig, it's not your time. You need to go back to your wife and your daughter. When it's time, you'll come here." And the face of this being was neither male nor female, nor was his body. It didn't have any kind of color, but rather in the face was like all imaginable type of life that we see on Earth, and life that I never saw before in my time. All swirling around in this beautiful, beautiful face. And the collars up there were there. I'm not going to say up there because that would feed into heaven and hell, but wherever this plane of existence was at, the collar was so immaculate, so beautiful. So I truly believe that we were created by a being, and that being probably has lesser beings that are sent to help, because we have a vast universe. So yeah, I believe that we were created by a great divine, and I believe that great divine does not know race or gender, and that we're all products of this universe. And I'm talking about the universe as a whole, not just the Milky Way galaxy. We're all products of this universe, and it's too immaculate not to have been created by something. Something happened, and that something phenomenal, I believe, was the great creator.
Yeah, there's several ways to explain it. And to further expand on your whole dying, I don't preach suicide anyway. I actually go against it. But I've committed 15 times. I've attempted suicide 15 times, and I'm still here today. To me, that's the Creator saying, ain't your time. You ain't coming until we say you're coming.
Right. And we shouldn't support suicide. While we're on that topic, since we didn't really, we chose a topic, but we're kind of letting it go free flow. Why would you want to end your life?
Depression does some really weird things to you. It's the only way I can explain it. I was so depressed. I didn't have anybody to turn to at the time. I felt like nobody was on my side.
And what did you learn from those experiences besides just, that it wasn't your time to go?
It causes more problems than it does help.
And what would have happened if you would have died? Would you have been here today to help us with this show?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I thank the Creator that you didn't succeed.
Oh,
Amen.
I have a lot of other friends that feel the same way, that if I hadn't died, where would they be now?
So do you feel the same way now?
I feel that I have a purpose. I feel that people care. I have a wonderful family, a wonderful small circle. I would rather have a small circle that I know I can trust and that loves me than have a big circle of friends that I don't know
What their
where
purpose is. Right. That makes sense. And so that helped you out by narrowing your circle, realizing you had importance, realizing you had purpose and value. That helped you with that form of depression, that type of depression that was leading to, I'm going to end it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you didn't end it, because since I met you, I've loved you as a brother, a son, spiritually speaking, and
Well,
the world would be a darker place without you, Mr. Evans.
yeah, and I gained nephews and nieces. Blood doesn't always make family.
That's true.
I've got a nephew right here on the camera with us right now. A brother with me
Got
too.
nephew.
I've got a niece. I've got two great nephews. All wonderful, beautiful people. And I have a sister-in-law I love to death.
Yeah, Dana, I wish she would be part of this show, but she's not going to put her face out there. It's all right, because we're going to put our face out there. The three heads of the Norman Universal Life, or the Universal Life Church Norman Ministry. Adam, you got anything to add?
To what Jay has to say about suicide, I believe if somebody wants to take their life, that they're committing a sin against themselves, mainly, and ultimately just giving a big old slap to whomever made them, like their parents on earth and their parents abroad. It's just like basically slapping them in the face, saying you wasn't worth it.
So you're saying that suicide is not necessarily a going to hell damnation sin? Is that the type of sin you're talking about?
No. I'm saying that it's a sin against themselves, really, because who would really want to go and kill themselves over something stupid?
There's so many, and this was a topic that I didn't want to touch in our first thing, but that's kind of weird, because earlier today I was listening to Black Label Society, and a song I didn't even know that they had done was talking about suicide. And so that's obviously the Spirit wanted us to touch this very sensitive situation. I believe that suicide, in a way, is first a sin against oneself, because if we harm ourselves in any way, understand, it don't even have to be suicide. This could be the situations causing the depression were
It's
sinned
happening to
against yourself. You know, the situations, and if people are going to make you feel that way, then it is time to narrow that spectrum, that circle of people that you hang with. And I know I could lay my life in either one of you two's hands. You being my one of my best friends and my brother in the Lord, and Adam being my biological son and brother in the Lord. Of course, Dana that's not here. Those are the three people that I know for a fact I can lay my life in either one of y'all's hands. And I could trust that you would do what was best for me. And so I appreciate that, because, see, I also, years ago, tried to commit suicide on numerous occasions. And it was because I felt like I didn't have anybody, that I had no purpose. And had I succeeded, that third party here today wouldn't be here. I'm talking about that pretty young man over there called Adam. And
Well, let me add
daughter.
something to that, because I did attempt to suicide when I was 12, 11. And if I had actually succeeded in that.
By the way, Pepsi, you'll never get another free advertisement from us.
Dr. K and Diet Pepsi. Good advertisements there, domestic Batorz.
All right.
Oh,
So, finish you were saying. I didn't mean to distract you.
Anyway, if I had succeeded in suicide, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm thankful for that.
And I may not have saw you in that other plane of existence when I died, which would have bothered me had you died before me. Just so you know, the pain that I feel. I'm going to go back to my very first experience with suicide. I didn't realize we were going to get on this. We've already went 12 minutes into this.
we might as well just make this our subject tonight.
We're just going to make this our subject tonight, obviously. I had a friend named Julie Baker. She was 14 years old and had a baby. Child Protective Services took that baby from her and was going to adopt it out because she was too young to raise a child. She jumped through all the hoops, including finding a job at 14, so that she wouldn't have to rely on the system, and they still refused to give her child back. Not even 72 hours from the time that the baby was adopted, finally, and they gave the final ruling that they were taking permanent custody, she hung herself. She left a note behind to the baby's dad and to the baby, to her mother and to her friends. And she said, I can't live with this pain. I can't live without my child. I did everything they wanted me to do, and they still say I'm not good enough. So I'm not good enough to be here. I'm sorry to you, Eric, the dad of the baby. I'm sorry to you, Mom. I'm sorry to all my friends. But life ain't worth living without my child. And that was the first experience I ever had with suicide, was when our friend Julie Baker, she was well loved by a lot of people. And it was CPS.
Yeah.
So the practice of taking a person's children is not a good thing either. But we won't go there today.
Yeah, that's way.
That's a different subject for a different time.
Yeah. My grandfather gave up. I wouldn't necessarily say it was suicide, but I would at the same time. He dropped every medication he had at one time, from what I understand. I was 13 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
In essence, that's a form of suicide. But he couldn't be understood in writing or in speech. Other situations came up. And I don't want to point fingers, But Craig, you know what happened there. I told you about that.
Yeah. Well, we don't sometimes, and so basically what we're getting at is the aftermath leaves us confused. The ones that are left here that actually cared about the person were left confused. We don't know what to do with it. I mean, we don't know how to accept their death at the same time because we love them. We feel bad that they got to that point,
Yeah, but then you some people, like, not me, but some people just don't really care anymore. Like, I had a friend in middle school who was really talking about committing suicide and hanging himself from the gymnasium in the gym, from the balconies or whatever they are on the stage.
Yeah, the rafters.
Yeah, and he talked about it for weeks. Eventually, some people just started telling him, do it. Just do it. And then the other people that were his friends were on his side trying to get him not to stop talking about it and just move on, and asked him what was wrong and what was going on, and he wouldn't answer him.
Did he
Right.
commit suicide?
Did he try? He tried. Months later, though.
So he cried for help.
Yeah.
We're going to have to touch this topic again at some point because this is a pretty serious topic. And it's also got, we're talking about a form of death. This is death for these people. People that actually succeed in committing suicide are dead. This is death.
And they left their loved ones, the people that actually cared for them, they left them behind, and those people moved on. And some of them haven't.
Well, I can tell you this, that Eric, the dad of the baby, never stopped fighting for custody of the child. He won custody back. He was a couple years older than her, so he was an adult, when he started fighting for him. And he got their baby back. And he remarried, he married, but it took him until he was 28 years old to get married. Because
wow.
he felt that he was responsible for Julie taking her life. So, I'm not going to say that someone's going to go to hell for committing suicide, but I can say that they're taking a quick fix-it that has a permanent consequence for probably temporary situations.
Yeah.
Because we all go through ups and downs. I have depression. I have seasonal depression. I have a lot of reasons to be depressed. But how I deal with depression when it comes, we just kind of got to roll with those punches and realize that it's only a temporary situation. When we feel that we're at our down and out, brings back the word crisis. When we're in crisis, that word comes from the Greek word crises, which means an opportunity. So at every point, that it was Adam said, sin against ourselves. Is it not a sin against ourselves not to have self-esteem enough to feel that we have value to stay here?
Yeah.
It is.
Is it not a sin? I mean, but let's come to the first thing. Is it not a sin against ourselves? This is not hellfire and brimstone, man. I'm not getting to that. What I'm saying is it not a sin against ourselves if we can't look in that mirror and go, I am Craig A. Norman. I am who I am, and I am proud of who I am, what I've went through and what I've came to be, and whatever I may have to go through, I'm going to keep my head up high because I got the balls to stand against the whole dang world.
Well, to lighten it up a little, I can look in the mirror and say I'm Craig A. Norman.
Oh,
No,
no, I would
neither
hope
can
not.
I.
I want everybody to say they're me. Oh
No,
my
no.
God.
I know what kind of physical pain you've been through. I got my own pain. I don't need yours on top of mine.
Exactly. And that's the other thing.
Right.
How much depression is caused by us taking on other people's junk?
Yeah.
We
How
don't
many
need that junk.
How many suicides are because of other people?
Well, no, ultimately it's the choice of the person that does it. Because that's where it is. We can't change other people's actions, but we can change our reaction.
Here's something everybody needs to remember. If you're having suicidal thoughts, you need to find the people you can talk to, the people that will help you.
And if you can't, there's so many hotlines, which I don't even know what all of them are.
Well,
But I do believe you can get a hold of 211 anywhere in the United States has a 211 that will patch you over to somebody.
yes, 211, if it's in your area, will patch you through to, for instance, Newark, Ohio. Will patch you through to BHP. I don't know what it stands for. I just know I think it's Behavioral Health
Partners.
Partnership.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I apologize, and I will correct myself in the next couple videos.
Up here, the 211 put you over to, I think it's called NetCare or something like that in Columbus. But, you know, and there's always 911. Yeah, if you call 911, you got to expect an EMT and a cop to show up if you're threatening suicide. But you're not going to go to jail for that. You know,
No.
they're going to get you the help you need. The only reason they're responding is because you put out a hand for help. So don't be afraid to call 911 either. If you have no other option, call 911 and get the help that you need, because that's what our society is about. You know, there's a lot of problems in the United States, and we will cover these topics as we go along. But the one thing we do is we do care for our weakest links, and everybody has a right to be weak once in a while.
Right.
You have a right to be depressed. You have a right to feel down and out. You have a right to do that. That's your natural right as being a living organism. But the thing that
Sentient living organism.
a sentient, well, every living organism lives, learns, and grows in different ways, even if they ain't got a brain.
Okay, let me rephrase that then. A rational sentient being.
Who said human beings were rational?
Well, the human brain is the only one wired to be rational. I'm not saying every human is rational, but the human brain is the only one wired on Earth. On Earth.
Yeah, well, that we know of. Which goes into the topic we were supposed to go, but you know, we ain't going to be able to get to it because we
done already spent our time on another subject today.
Well, we
guys.
came in at 7:10 and we are at 7:39.
Yeah, we're getting to about our time.
So we've only got
we've got approximately 10 minutes left.
Yeah, but let's say 5 to be safe.
Right.
So you know, I don't know what to do to close this down with this topic, but you know, suicide's not a funny situation.
No, it's not.
And it's definitely an issue that we need to, as ministers especially, to address, because, you know, when I was in college for psychology, they said because I had been a minister for so long that I had been practicing pseudopsychology at that time for 12 or 13 years as a minister. So we're ministers, but we're also pseudopsychologists. Do you agree with that, Mr. Evans?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Adam?
Yes, I do.
You know, so
Well,
here we go. We have a Facebook page. It's ULC Monastery Norman Ministries on Facebook. Anybody that views this, if you can't reach out to 911 or reach out to you know,
211.
211 or something like that, you can always message us and we will get back to you at some point.
Well,
Hopefully-
guys,
Hopefully in
guys.
time.
hold on. I say we leave everybody with a well-rounded prayer, whether they are or not. To those families who have people in their family that have committed suicide, we pray for them. We pray for their family, and through their suffering as ministers of the ULC ministry. We love everything and everyone, so they are going to be in our prayers.
Well, okay, yeah, I think we ought to end this segment, I guess, with a prayer. But understand, I'm going to forewarn the audience before I pray. I'm not an Orthodox minister, so you're going to hear some unorthodox terms in this prayer. Maybe some terms you don't understand. So that leaves up for some topics. If you don't understand something we're talking about, post it in the messages, like our pages, and subscribe. And let us end this with a prayer to our great Creator. Can you put your hands up? Oh, Holy Father, great Creator, our Mother, our Father, our everything. We thank you for directing the path of this show this night. We thank you for all the blessings of life, that we have the opportunity to live, learn, and grow. We ask that you send a comforting spirit upon those who have suffered from the loss from suicide. And if there be anybody viewing this now that has a feeling of suicide, we ask that you give them a strength of comfort and faith that they can reach out to somebody that will help them get through these temporary issues so that they do not cause a permanent consequence. We thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for our brothers that are here this evening. And we thank you for the audience that may or may not listen to this. And we thank you in the name of Yahshua Messiah, which is Jesus Christ, for those of you that don't know. And we thank you again, O Father Yahweh, Abba Yah, Bahara, great Creator. We leave in peace.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
And for my personal belief, thank you, Odin. Thank you, Thor and Seth.
And we thank all the deities because they're there to help.
Well,
yeah.
I personally have to thank those three because
Yeah, I know. You don't want to wake up with.
Thor and Seth are my patrons, and Odin was both their fathers.
Right, I know. We'll get into some more of that later. All right, guys, we hit the 40-minute, and I think that we had a very good first show. Let's see where this goes, and no matter what, we're going to do this because it helps us confirm our faith with each other, gives us a chance to do this with the distance between us. It gives us the opportunity to do this. So, and I do appreciate you, Jay. I love you with all my heart, my man, and you are my brother, my friend. Adam, I love you with everything in me. You're the apple of my eye. And I thank you guys for helping me with this show and promoting our beliefs, and hopefully we'll help somebody along the way. You got any final words, Adam?
God bless everyone and everything. Amen.
Amen. All right, guys. I'll send the links out when I broadcast this. It's got a download. It takes about 20 minutes. And this will be going on to our YouTube page here shortly, which, by the way, check when I do that, check out the emblem is the hand of God symbol.
Okay.
Is our profile pic on YouTube for now. I found it the other day.
We'll have to find a way to put a link from here on here to YouTube to that page.
The link can be sent in any one of the if it's being sent to the three of us, it can be sent into any of our social medias.
Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it to the YouTube channel as our broadcast, okay? And then our personal links, it'll come to us personally. Then we can put those out. Also uploaded on the ULC Norman Ministry page on Facebook.
I'll have to somehow find the symbol of Mjolnir.
Well, I was thinking we got a banner. We can get a banner. Maybe we can have Uncle Bubby, Dana's brother, once we get all the symbols, he's a good drawer, to draw us a banner with all the different symbols. Because we have the coexistence, which has all the symbols, but it doesn't show on the whole thing. But that's a business meeting, guys. Hey, I love you. Monday will be, we don't even have to do Monday night because other than just to hang out, right?
Hang out and just touch base.
Or maybe even cover the topics for the second show, the third show now. All right. Be blessed.
Be blessed.